Alright, so we're going to get back to the LS swap jet ski in a little bit, but on today's video, we're going to talk more about the next engine for the miniature aluminum jet boat. So let's get this thing out of the way, because this is not for the miniature aluminum jet boat. That's right, people, a triple-piped 900 Tigershark engine.
Yeah, it's a Thundercat snowmobile.
The miniature aluminum jet boat has been a very popular build series. So the goal was to put something pretty dang cool in it. And by throwing some triple pipes on a jet ski engine, yes, it's a Tigershark, which means it's a Suzuki.
Whoa, that'd be sweet.
Throwing them triple pipes on there, it's going to make a huge difference in horsepower. Basically, Arctic Cat put this in their snowmobiles, and they called it, what was that called?
The Thundercat.
It was called,
maybe.
I think it was the
Thundercat.
Thundercat.
It might be wrong, but it could be right.
And if my memory is not mistaken, they rate the Thundercat at 160 horsepower. Or 155?
Yeah, well, I think it's
something like that.
I think it's like the gnarly snowmobile of the 90s, and snowmobile nuts know about it.
And essentially the exact same engine they put into a, I wanted to say Suzuki Tigershark, but they put that exact same Suzuki engine into the Tigershark, and that is rated at 105 horsepower, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so the pipes add a good 55 horsepower.
So when I had ordered up some pipes from a Thundercat, we're going to throw them on the Tigershark motor and pop it into the miniature aluminum jet boat.
Hey, boat's got a lot of room for pipes.
You guys probably remember the old Tigershark video that this engine came from.
Remember how that worked perfectly?
I had to go back and rewatch that to kind of refresh my mind on it. But this engine has low compression on the front cylinder. The other two cylinders are like 100 to 120 psi. The front one was at 60.
I don't see why that's a problem.
So we got to figure out what is wrong with this engine before we can even think about dropping it into the miniature aluminum jet boat.
Oh, let's see. I don't know. It feels okay.
What I have found so far, this front piston was the one in the video where me and Jacob were working on this thing, was the one that had low compression. And I took the cylinder off, and indeed it does have stuck rings. If that makes sense. Back here, the rings are not expanding, so it's not getting good seals, so that's why it has this bad compression.
What was the compression on that one?
I think it was like 60.
Oh, what'd you get on the others?
I think they were about 120.
Oh.
Then, this is all by memory. You guys could watch the video and see, but I'm not going to go back and look at it because I got other things to do.
Those were the right numbers. I remember now.
So another thing I found on this front piston was that the wrist pin bearing was very stiff, and this engine has a hard time turning over, and I'm pretty sure that the bearings are stiff on all the wrist pins. And I was taking this jug off, and that's kind of all the, all it will go. It's really, I'll just call it stiff. Now, this guy, I got it loosened up super easy by just spraying it with some WD-40 and wiggling it a little bit. But all of these seem to be stiff. So I'm thinking when I pull all the jugs off, the crankshaft will probably turn pretty easily. Otherwise, if it does not, then we'll have to start thinking about throwing this engine in the garbage because the crankshaft is bad.
I hope it's not the crankshaft.
But obviously, we'll run it till it blows up. We're not just going to throw it away. That'd be stupid.
That'd be stupid.
Oh yeah, this is something that you would never do to like a customer's boat or anything like that. Or any reputable shop would never do something like this. They'd say, yep, we got to put a new crankshaft, pistons, rings, inspect the cylinders. But you guys don't care about that. We all know that shops charge you a lot and have to do it super right. Otherwise, you get mad at them when it breaks. And when you're doing it for yourself, that's when you can really have some fun.
Isn't that true?
I got all the wrist pin bearings freed up, and look at this, it smooths really easy. Turns really easily, and that was our major hang up. I you know, fling it spin around like I did with that 1200R motor, except for there's a hole. I put, you know, a bunch of oil in the bottom end just to, you know, keep things nice and oiled, since it wasn't sitting in water at one point. So I can't really zing it around right now, but before this engine goes all back together, I will be dumping the oil out, and I'm going to make sure that I can really zing it around like that to make sure it really is nice and smooth and good to go. And if this motor does blow up, who really cares? Like, you know, we're always doing weird, crazy stuff here, and if everything just went perfect, there'd be literally no entertainment value whatsoever. I pulled this front cover off of the Suzuki 900 motor, and it's just absolutely gloriously beautiful inside.
So clean.
That is a clean
Should
stator.
put on white gloves to touch it.
And then check out this flywheel. It's just mint. It's mint. It's cherry. Come on, Jason. What else?
It's the cat's ass.
Okay.
It's the bee's knees. Mirror finish.
It really is just a fine finish on that. And I'm really pleased because, well, the 1100 I was playing with for a long time was the complete opposite. Just terrible.
Yeah. Look at the outside of this engine compared to that thing. It's just like taking this apart. It's been like a salty dog. We had those screws you took out that were so salted up, and then you pulled this cover off.
Right. So this engine is definitely sat in the salt, and apparently no water has gotten inside the front cover here, which is fantastic. And what they use is a normal gasket as opposed to those O-ring gaskets. So I'm kind of thinking this normal style gasket is the way to go on these.
Is this a plasticky one though? Because I've seen these ones. I think this is like a rubbery or plasticky one.
I don't know, whatever it is, just work. It's like my thing, and I'm so tired of just going round and round with that 1100 stuff that I'm like, do I want to just break down and do it the right way?
Yeah, I see what you mean. I guess I feel like if the crank is working still, it's hard to want to go in there. And maybe you need to drop a screw or something in there so you have to.
Oh gosh. But so far, all of the cylinders have looked really great. You definitely can't see that because of the lighting. So
You want me to shine a light on it?
you'll have to just... I'd rather they just take my word for it
Oh,
in case
okay.
it's grosser than I
Yeah,
expected.
take our word for it.
You can see it right there. That's all you need to see. Just perfect.
Oh, it's
Flawless.
beautiful. It's almost as nice as this flywheel.
Just needs to be cleaned and it'll be ready to go. Rinsed in solvent and then dried, and these pistons are ready to go back in the engine. That is more of doing the right thing the wrong way, which is something that we love to do here. If you have a problem with that, then never bring your skis to us to be fixed. That's kind of funny. We try not to fix other people's stuff ever, and when we do, we make an effort to do the right thing the right way. But when it's just our stuff, we're just having fun with it, yeah, we really don't care. I pulled all the cylinders off, took all the rings off because all the rings were stuck. Even though there was just one with low compression, the rings were stuck on all of them. So what I did is I've been using just wire brushes and some solvent to really clean everything up, making sure that all the bearings are still nice and loose, getting all the rust out of here, cleaning out the bottom end. And I've got this one reassembled, but I just kind of wanted to go over what I'm doing. The ring lands, or where the rings go, are very gunky on these pistons. So I'm just taking a little flat blade screwdriver and just scraping all of the gunk out of there. And then when I'm done with that, a little bit of solvent and a little wire brush to kind of give it a scrub down, and then putting it back together. And I'm not spending money on this engine at this point. I'm just cleaning it up. I'm going to put it back together. I want to do a compression check on it to see if I should even spend money on this engine. All right, I'm going to attempt to show installing a cylinder onto the piston without a ring compressor. And on these two-stroke engines, it's not too terribly difficult. It is something that you want to make sure to get right, otherwise you can wreck something. But obviously I have everything cleaned, I have everything oiled, the piston rings are oiled, everything in the bottom end is oiled, cylinder cleaned and oiled. And keep in mind that I am doing the very minimal on parts buying for this, because for me, I'm just going to test this. If you were rebuilding this yourself from like a water damaged engine, you would want to definitely get all new gaskets, new wrist pin bearings and wrist pins, and new rings, and possibly new pistons depending on how bad they are. But like I said, this for me is just to test this engine to see if it's worth putting any money into it. So essentially for me, I'm just putting it together, and then I'm going to compression check it, and then we'll go by parts. So you got to line the rings up with little dowel pins. Very important that they stay lined up. I don't know how well that picks up. You get a pointer. The dowel pin for that one is there, and the dowel pin for that one is there. The ring gap has to stay aligned with that. And what you do is, while keeping it lined up, you squeeze it. And while you're squeezing it, you just pop the cylinder. You pop the cylinder over the ring. But you only do one ring at a time. So now I've gotten the first ring done. Now I take the second ring, make sure it's lined up, squeeze it with my hands, and then slide the cylinder on.
So, yeah, he says, I love it. I love this engine. Say it.
Well,
I love this engine.
yeah, I'll try to do it candidly.
But, okay, so you like this?
I said I like this engine. I said I love this engine. It's so cool.
And you know what? Oh, wait, go back. Now, you didn't say you liked it when it was inside that tiger shark.
Hey, aren't you supposed to be on the screen for this?
Wait. You didn't like it when it was inside that tiger shark.
Wow, our acting skills. Whew. Oh, man. So if you work at Hollywood, there you go.
Yeah.
You're pretty good at this.
And I'm pissed off at you guys, too. Where's my videos? Where's my quality entertainment? Goodness. I'm mad at you because you have wronged me.
Oh, boy. So what would you say that you're entitled to?
I'm entitled to 1, benefits. 2, socially provided oxygen. And 3, free dental care for all, okay? Now, I can't remember what we started filming.
I don't know what we're doing.
It's assembling the engine.
We were just having a little bit of fun there.
I'm sure this will make the cut.
Compression check. This is the middle cylinder. We'll do this front one last. This is the one that had the problems in the first place, but we're just checking everything over. Oh, 55 PSI. That's not what I wanted to see.
What are you talking about, man? 55, pretty good. Hey, that's that crappy gauge, right?
Oh, I guess I got the intakes all taped up right now, so.
Yeah, exactly. We got tape on the intake.
I'll pull
But
the
this
tape.
one's going to be 55, too.
Ooh,
50.
Oh, even worse. All right. Let's pull the tape off the intake. See if
This is that frickin' piece of crap gauge.
No, it's not. I bought this one.
Right. Well, it looks like it might be crappy.
Well, I've used it before, and it's tested okay on stuff.
Has it ever gotten above 100?
Oh, yeah. Ooh, boy. 50. Boy, I don't know. This might be a lost cause. We ended up with better compression on the one that was messed up before, that actually kind of revived itself to around 90 psi, but the compression on the rear two dropped significantly to about, I think it was like 50 and like 45 psi. So these two got worse.
Oh, that's dumb. You know, that's really dumb. Usually when the cylinders look perfect, they're fine, but that's weird, you know.
So my theory as to what is causing this phenomenon is the piston rings were quite pitted on these rear two cylinders, and before somehow they made good compression, and I think that's because they were just so gunky and just sticky and nasty, and that gunk was sort of like filling in the pitting on the rings and giving them good compression. So my thought is that replacing the rings on this, or the pistons and rings, would revive the compression on this engine.
Oh, yeah, well, that would. The rings are probably only like $10 for the set of 3 on eBay. Yeah.
I've decided not to put this engine in the miniature aluminum jet boat.
Wait, what?
So
What?
I know it's kind of disappointing, but I'm not really willing to spend the money to get the parts for this engine when I have some other perfectly viable options that we can do for the miniature aluminum jet boat. Such as, there is a 3-cylinder Yamaha 2-stroke in this ski right here that makes 160 horsepower that's going to be available for swappage.
Yeah, but
And the only cost involved with getting this GP1200R engine into the miniature aluminum jet boat is time, because it is a running engine that is ready to go. This is a little bit experimental, and I don't really have time to mess around with stupid experimental crap this year, because I'm going to be prioritizing a lot of my time to the V8 jet ski build. So this thing is going to have to be put on the back burner for now. It's something that I would like to mess with in the future, but just not right at this point. And not on the miniature aluminum jet boat, which is a very important build series for us.
Yeah, we all know that more people care about the jet boat than most of our jet ski stuff. So we have to have that thing working, all right? It's just the way it is. It's economics.
I'm fairly certain that Yamaha 1200R engine will make that little jet boat fly. So that should be pretty good as far as that is concerned. But the one thing that I will say next is we do have other options for the miniature aluminum jet boat. Like, there was the possibility of the Cowie 250 engine going in there, or the Sea-Doo 155 4-stroke engine going in there.
Oh, yeah. You might have to tear the whole thing down to put one of them babies in, but
So
maybe it'd be worth it.
So the reason that this isn't getting fixed is because those other engines,
They're here.
they exist. I mean, the Cowie needs some work, but it's just getting that work done anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Wait, you're working on that? I thought you guys... I thought you were throwing that engine away because it was a 4-stroke that was broken.
Nope. Me and Jacob have both ordered parts for our engines. Those are getting fixed. This engine, I don't know. I feel like I should just buy the rings for it, and maybe I'll just put this engine together, and we'll put it in the Kawasaki Ultra when I'm done testing that 250 engine. We'll slap this in the Ultra for a quick flip type of thing.
Oh, man. That Ultra's so big. Maybe that triple pipes will even fit on that thing.
I was thinking without the triple pipes, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. We are actually transitioning this video over to what would normally be a bonus video.
Oh.
But so instead of having it like you gotta click in the comment section to get there, we're just putting it on the end of this
Yeah,
video.
you have to watch it. Party's over, folks. You gotta watch this now.
What? No, it's still good. This is the video where we're talking about prioritizing our projects for this year. So Jacob probably remembers filming that, and do you think they're gonna like that?
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
I'll let you go ahead and start with like what you're prioritizing for your projects for 2021.
Okay, so I've got all these little 650 builds. So I got the wood ski, which is a simple, I just got to finish putting it together, but it's all painted and stuff. So that's kind of a simple one. And I'm going to have that for sale. So if you guys are in the Washington area, you'll, I'm sure, look at Craigslist and see a lot of my skis for sale this summer. But we're going to try to sell them because, that's how we kind of make a little bit of money to keep doing the videos. And so I got the wood ski. I'm going to finish that up. Right now, I'm pretty focused in on the Sea Rat 2. I don't think that'll take a very long time to finish. There's the 750 SXI, which I'm not really doing any engine swapping or anything. There's no making parts or anything now. It's just getting it all bolted together and finished, and you'll be able to buy that too. I'll have that for sale. All the Sea Rat too, that'll be for sale too. Just about everything. And I have the Bob. The Bob is waiting. I need to go over to Rob's house and use his lathe and make some stuff there, so that's kind of what's holding me up on that thing. But it's not a hugely elaborate build, so that one I really want to get done because it's gonna have a good working engine in it, and so at this point that might be my most reliable ski if I can get it going and all put together. As for what else I got, I have a 550 SX I'm gonna be building with some pretty cool stuff. And that's different. That's separate than the Ripper 550 with the 820 engine in it right now. I have a Tigershark 640 engine that I'm going to be putting into a 650 SX, so just a basic build. I'm not doing anything too crazy, but it's a very reasonable, realistic type of build that you guys would probably be able to watch and do at home if it's something you would want to do. And that's just kind of an easy little project I got, because a lot of the stuff is skis I need to put together and sell just so I have room. And so, I mean, obviously we don't really love chopping stuff up. We prefer to just get our skis running and, you know, make the video and sell them if we're not going to keep them. But we try to keep them for the amount of time it's useful for us, and, you know, it's fun too along the way. We get to test a lot of different stuff. But yeah, right now the priority is a lot of these little simple 2-stroke skis. The Bullet, I would like to get to that, but I'm kind of shifting my plans of what I'm doing with that. And the Super Crash, I need to get that one really going good. Last time I worked on it, I was having an electrical issue, and so that's the type of thing where I need to kind of go through it, and it's probably a pretty simple fix, but I'm not a guy who's super good with troubleshooting electronics, so I'm thinking it's something like I just got to crimp a little connector a little tighter or something like that. But yeah, the Crash, I need to get that going because at this point I don't really have a main ski to really ride, and so that one, the plan is to keep it. And, you know, I know a lot of you guys really care about that stuff, and if anybody's got some tips for the Crash stuff, absolutely let me know, and it will be a huge help for me if it's like real info from people that have had these things. So, and yeah, I have never reached out to anybody who was like a crash dealer or anything for working on that thing. I've always just gotten so caught up with what I've had going myself. So, but I need to get that going. I have a Kawasaki Triple 1100 that is set up for a Yamaha, and I would like to, I'm thinking about putting that into maybe my square nose, but that's kind of I'm not quite there to where I'm thinking about that yet. And then I also have I believe it's like a 830cc Yamaha twin engine with an R&D aftermarket cylinder that I can build, and that one I might be getting. Jason has an R&D pipe for a Superjet, so I put the whole shebang together with that cylinder, and if the internet thread that I read is right, it'll be like a 160 horsepower 2-cylinder Superjet motor, so that'd be cool. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with that, but I have it, and at some point I want to build it. So I really do have a lot of engines, and almost more than I can really deal with right now, but I'm kind of focusing on the easier stuff first. I still have the Cougar Cub catamaran, and I got the tunnels for that, and the pump tunnels I got to glass in so I can kind of string the engines in there and know what I've got to do to finish that. I do want to do that this year. I'm not sure how far I'll get. I also have I'm thinking about putting a 760 engine in the Wave Jammer, which that's a pretty big engine for that pump size. But I got a custom impeller I can make for it that hopefully would work pretty good. But the Wave Jammer is like kind of a piece of junk, but it's the most fun thing in the world. I don't know if, I think you guys kind of like the Wave Jammer videos, but we have a really good time with it. It's like the drift machine. So, but I would like to do something really cool with that. Even though it's kind of like the clown car of our skis. But what about you, Josh? I've gotta think about my stuff
Sure.
to elaborate.
So for me, I have a lot of stuff kind of on my plate as long. Okay, that's kind of weird to say as long, but I got a lot of stuff going on project-wise, and plus I have my newborn son, so I'm kind of like, I really got to prioritize what I want to do because I want to spend time with him, so I got to kind of maybe pick and choose what I'm doing. So basically, I sent that Wave Blaster project over to Jason because I just didn't think I would have time or motivation for that. My top priority, though, is actually the secret build. I'm going to call it the secret build because I don't know if it'll be rebuilt by the time this video comes out, but it's the build that has to do with that LS engine. Also, I really want to get that 250 Kawasaki Ultra together. I don't know how high that will be on the priority list depending on how much the parts are to get it going. Let's see, what would be after that? Definitely the Metro Aluminum jet boat. Get something in there, get it running. Let's see, what would be after that? Probably the X4, and then somewhere in there I'm gonna do the C-Rat as well, the original C-Rat. Just gotta kind of clean it up and get it out there riding. And basically the GPR SHO build, that is basically done. I would like to get it tuned at some point this year or 2021 if I get a chance. And that's just kind of how my priorities are stacking up at the moment. And I don't know if you had anything else you want to say as far as priorities.
Well, yeah, when just saying this stuff out loud, it's really crazy how many projects we have. Like the sheer number that we have is crazy, but it's also crazy that we kind of get it all done, really. Like, I mean, not so much. Like, we got the Catamaran that's been kicking around for a long time, but we really do, for how much stuff we actually have, we do get to finishing quite a bit of it. I mean, there's so many like other channels that we'll see where it's just a guy with like maybe 1 or 2 projects, but like, well, we got like 10 apiece here at Jetskibrothers.
All right, boys, shut up and get to work. Jet ski season's almost upon us.
Before we're into it.